10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 42 of Stadium Connect North. I've got two fine gentlemen with me here today. Beside me here, I've got the man that needs no introduction, Ninja Guy X. How are you doing, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing well. It's a nice Friday. Can't wait. It's a weekend, so I'm pretty happy, pretty excited. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, and of course, down below us here, he's the OG. When we had him on the show last time, he explained where he got the name Original Penguin. So if you don't know, go back and watch it. It's very interesting. We have the Original Penguin Adam. Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. It's great to be back. I really enjoyed myself last time, so I thought I'd return for another. I get my
Awesome.
my regular dose of the show. Yeah,
Of the
You
show.
know-
Awesome.
You know what? The other day, Penguin, I was at the store and I didn't even know, but we do have original Penguin shirts over here.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's new to me. You know, I thought it was only like around the UK or something, but I guess we do have that brand here.
were you at TJ Maxx by any chance?
I was at Winners, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we've got a lot to talk about today, but before we do, let's go ahead and give a couple of shout outs here in the chat. We see PyCon Fusion, Vivi celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday, Vivi. He's on holiday as well. And from what I hear, he's having a smashing time, so to speak. So have fun there, Vivi, as well. We've got Original Penguins in the chat here. Ninja Guy X wishing him a happy birthday. Original Penguin says, love you too, Vivi. Vivi says he was missing your face. So that's interesting. Stadia Pro Gaming, wonderful to see you all. Thank you. Zorina said, Ninja Guy is back. Yes, he's here for today's episode. It's always a big draw. Thank you so much. Ninja Guy put a poll in the chat here, so definitely check that out here. Let us know of the new games on Stadia for Stadia Pro. There were, out of the 7, there were four? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 of them were new to on Stadia here. So let us know. Of those 4, which have you played first, or which do you plan to play first? Always interesting. I Can't See says, I voted for Death Run because I need to try it. But he's been busy with Diablo Immortal. It came out on the same day. So, wow. Yeah, Geek the Sneaks here says, what's up, peeps? And wow, yeah. So thank you all, everybody in the chat, those watching. We really do appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's get the graphic up here. We are going to go with this week's Stadia news. So let's go ahead and get my screen over here shared and perfect. So This week, we got our June Stadia Pro Games. Tuesday was May the 31st. So we got our blog posting our 2. So it was right on time. And next day, all these amazing games were available to claim on Stadia Pro. There was a total of 7. So that is pretty awesome. And again, out of those 7, we saw 4 were new. So that's great. And the other 3 were existing on Stadia and being added to the Pro lineup. So let's take a look here. And I know, Original Penguin, you haven't had a chance yet to play any of the Pro games because I heard you've been busy with, I don't know, some Sim City or some game. I don't know what it is. Like, what has caught your attention for these last couple of weeks?
Well, I must say, actually, I guess it's not entirely accurate that I haven't played any of the Pro games because I have played Golf with Your Friends, but that's because I bought it. I knew that game was going to go Pro eventually, but I wasn't expecting it. It's been, 1 month since it launched?
Yeah, something like that.
Surprised at that, yeah.
But yeah, so I have played Golf with Your Friends. Obviously, I did a wonderful live stream of that. Really good fun. And I'm going to do another one soon because it is such a great game to play. But yeah, so I've been a little bit preoccupied with City Skylines. One of the main things that I told myself when that game launched was don't buy any DLCs unless they go on offer. I've already spent far too much money on the game on PC, buying the DLCs and whatnot. And I've already spent £80 on DLCs. And even today, I bought 2 more DLCs, and I was like, "Oh my god, I need to stop!" But I am enjoying myself. I would love it if City Skylines had direct touch, but at the same time, I don't think it needs it. I genuinely find using the on-screen, the touch gamepad, actually works pretty well because it's a slow-moving game. Right. You can, a bit like Little Big Workshop. Little Big Workshop was brilliant for playing without a controller and just using the on-screen. Right. But yeah, no, really, really into City Skylines at the minute. That said, Lake looks really interesting to me. Yes. I like my heavily story-driven games. Deliver Us the Moon, obviously, we've all been waiting for that ever since Wired announced it, so I'll be giving that a go. Touhou I've tried, actually, when I was trying to get a pixel count. That game is like hand-drawn all the way through, and I hate those games. Just for pixel counting, because it is impossible to get a good count on them. There's absolutely no line in that game is straight. And they do it on purpose, to make it look hand-drawn. And it just makes it really my job impossible. So, but I'm definitely going to give it a go this time and play it. But it was a weird game, if I remember correctly.
Oh, nice. All right, well, before we get in here, a shout out to Paul, Mr. Bayron Plays. Happy 7-month Scar-anniversary. Thank you so much. Paul says, I stole all of John's maple. I don't know if he's trying to say maple syrup or what. I don't know. But anyways, so let's get into the blog post here. As we mentioned, we got 7 games for June on Stadia Pro. With the first here from our good friends at Kyoken, who we talked with back in March, weeks before we anticipated the release of the game. But as we all know, the game got delayed a little bit, and it's always good. They had to polish it up and fix a few bugs here. And here we are just a few months later in June, and now we are playing Deliver Us the Moon. So this was the first game that I played out of all the new Stadia Pro games. I streamed it and actually had Kyoken, the people from there, came into the stream. It was so awesome to see their support and love, and also a lot of people from the community. Gracie from Google stopped by. It was amazing. I had so much fun with the game. I've been playing it. I streamed it, and then I played it yesterday, and then also today as well. I think later this evening, I'm going to try and see if I can finish it up. absolute gem. I highly recommend if you like these sci-fi thriller games. It's not too so Adam. I know that games like Resident Evil and those jump scares you're not a big fan of. Deliver Us the Moon, at least from what I've encountered so far, there are none of that there. It's more of just like a really good sci-fi story. So I think that you would probably enjoy this. I know Ninja Guy, you've had been playing this as well. What do you what are your thoughts on Deliver Us the Moon?
Oh man, it's amazing. It's like I really like like these kind of story experience that you can get, and on the plus side, even it's in space, and you know, like it gives me that nostalgia of those space movies, like oh man, I can't remember the names, just like that, something alien.
Aliens, aliens.
But not really aliens, but more like a interstellar type of vibe. Yeah, these types of movies, you know, it gives me that type of vibe, and really enjoyable. What's funny is that we both are playing the game almost at the same time. We're almost at the same spot all the time, so we did help each other. Like I was stuck on a puzzle.
Yep. Oh, I think Ninja Guy's having a little bit of problems. He switched internet service providers, and he's experiencing some hiccups here and there. So I'll fill in here.
And am I back?
Oh, yeah,
Hello?
You are back.
Woo! Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, me and John are playing almost at the same spot. Like I was stuck somewhere, and he was giving me hints, and then he had a glitch which I also experienced. So I told him how to get rid of that glitch, and you know, we're almost at the end. We don't want to spoil it, but John, what do you think about, you know, the moon having cancer and the astronaut being pregnant? Oh, this is an amazing story.
Well, I couldn't believe it when the alien came out from their stomach. I was just shocked and surprised. But
Exactly.
no, seriously, like Kyokan
really
did
good.
an amazing job on this. A really good story, and there's a lot of extra things that you can go around to collect, like the audio clips. There's also visual things. Yeah, there's the collectibles in there. So Ninja Guy, I don't know. I might actually go back once I beat it and play it again to see if I can get all of it on there. Now the game, it doesn't have any of the achievements. So there's no achievements in the game. A tweet was put out asking, are they going to be adding achievements? And Kyokan responded with, you know, basically they're hard at work right now on Deliver Us Mars, but they always want to ensure that players have the best game experience possible. So I don't know. It may come, but as of right now, there are no achievements in the game, but it's a fantastic game. Even if you don't have Stadia Pro, I would highly, highly recommend picking up. It's super inexpensive too. I think I don't recall. I think it's somewhere like $20 maybe at most.
Really
something
cheap.
like that. Yeah. Oh, well, here it is. Look, it's here. $25 US or no cost with Stadia Pro. So I highly, highly recommend the game. Love that game.
Yes, beautiful game. You know, immersive experience. I did encounter some, you know, frame drops in the game.
Yeah,
it's not, you know, it's not that bad. It doesn't it doesn't remove you from the immersion. But yeah, no. Other than that, it's a very well polished game. The graphics are beautiful. Like, really enjoying it.
There's so many cinematic spots there where I find myself like positioning the camera and getting snaps and stuff like that. It is so awesome. So that's only the first game. 1 out of 7 here. Lake are from our friends at Whitethorn Games, which we had an interview with the developers, Peachy King Games for Calico, and also I believe it was John who was in charge of porting Calico and Lake over to Stadia.
Yes.
Sneaky John. When we asked him about Lake, I mean, obviously because of NDAs and things like that, he put a good poker face on me. I had no idea. I honestly thought that we were going to get Calico first in July and then Lake later on.
Mhm.
but this game here, Lake. So basically, the premise behind this is you go back in time, 1986.
Cool.
You are at work in the big city. You're a software engineer. You're working on the latest iteration of software that's coming out, and you're going to take a 2 week holiday, your vacation. You're going back home. You haven't been back home in 22 years. And for whatever reason, while you're on your vacation, you're going to be a mail person. You're going to deliver mail in your hometown.
Deliver us
here.
the mail.
Yes, deliver us the mail. So, yeah, you play as Meredith. And again, I played this and I streamed it for about an hour and a half. It's a totally like relaxing game, kind of a little bit like Life is Strange, but not like like as much drama, I guess I would say. You go back, it's a very small town, you know, which again is really strange, but we'll let this go just because it's a game. You go back for your 2 week holiday, and your mom and dad are on vacation in Florida. So you talk with them almost daily at night, and you go around your small little town, beautiful scenery, delivering mail and parcels. You catch up with some people that the diner. You see how things have changed. You talk to the crazy cat lady. You go into what I really love is so far I've been into a general store, a convenience store, and also a video rental place. And they have done such an amazing job at recreating the time in the general store there. They had the Mr. T cereal, but instead of calling it Mr. T, it was like Mr. X. Like they've got all this stuff from 1986 and the 80s that if you grew up or you were around in those times, you will instantly recognize. And the same thing with at like the video store. They've got different movies, and like I was going through on my stream here, I'm like, oh yeah, look at this movie. This is supposed to be like Back to the Future and things like that. And then there was a couple that I wasn't quite sure, and people were calling it out in the chat. And it's a really, really neat game. If you would have told me the premise of we're going to have a game and you're just going to go and deliver mail, I'd be like, you're crazy. But definitely, I recommend checking it out. I don't know, Ninja, have you had a chance to play? I know you've maybe been in and out there a couple of times.
Yeah. No, I mostly heard what you said, at least while I was disconnected. But I haven't had a chance. This is my next game after Deliver Us the Moon, so I'm very excited to give it a try. It actually looks pretty fun. Whitehorn Games seems to like be very good at having like really calming games, like relax. So I don't know. I'm really into these games lately, so I'm looking forward to give it a try for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Adam, what about you? I know you mentioned a little bit about Lake. Is this something like is it like? Are you interested in this? Or you think you're going to try this or?
Yeah, absolutely. It's probably going to be something I'm going to use to as an escape from city skylines, because what I don't want to do is burn out on that game, because I love it so much, and it's very addictive. I think I'll be using Lake and some of the other pro games as do you know what? Today I'm not going to play cities. I'm going to play something else, and I think Lake will probably be my first port of call, and that will no doubt be tomorrow.
Awesome. That is great. So just as a heads up too, there's a radio in the game, and this is actually pretty cool because you go into the options there and they warn you, if you want to stream the game and have the radio on, they can whitelist your stream. You can send them the link to your scheduled stream and they'll go ahead and whitelist it so you don't get any copyright or any strikes.
Oh, nice.
But if you already have, and you've got the notification from YouTube, you can still contact them, send them the link, and they'll get that all cleared up. So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, like it is awesome. It's right in the game. You go under the options there, and it gives you the link to the website and everything. That's awesome. I wish more games were like that, because
I wonder if that's because the music is original soundtrack, or if they've licensed it. If they've licensed I imagine this is a very complicated and expensive process for them. So I'd have a feeling that they've paid a composer to write the music for them, and they own it.
Yeah.
And whereas with other games, like the Crew 2 has a lot of Ubisoft games has licensed music.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously with that, they have only paid to license it to be in the game, not to be in broadcasts of the game.
Yeah. I wish
but it would be nice if other companies did that, as you said.
it would, or at least have the option for like streamer friendly music. I know that would be an added cost to development, but I mean, sometimes, like for example, like Roller Champions, I've been playing that, and I love like in the main menu there when you're waiting for a match and you're buying items or you're configuring like your character and stuff like that. There's some pretty awesome music, but of course, it's licensed. Turn on streamer mode and it's absolute dead silence. I mean, it's just like it takes away. Like I wish they would have something on there so I don't have to try and fill that void.
And it's like streamers is a thing nowadays. It's a modern thing. Like it happens a lot. They really need to take that into consideration and give us some options, right? Because like I remember the new Life is Strange. Like there's a song playing and the girls are dancing and like there's just no music. It'd be cool even if they integrate something where the streamer hear the music, but like when they show it to the watchers, there's no music, right? At least you get immersed as the streamer in the game, but they have to take that into consideration.
Yeah, exactly. Here's another game that this is a different way that you can kind of unwind and relax at the end of the day. Death Run TV. Oh my gosh. So again, we spoke with Laser Dog Games here just a couple of weeks ago. Again, another amazing interview. If you haven't had a chance to watch it or listen, definitely do. Ninja Guy, I want to let you talk about this one first because I know you're a really big fan of this game here.
Yeah, no, it's really fun, really hard. Like I was thinking Enter the Gungeon when I started playing it, but it's different. It's faster. Your runs takes a lot less time than Enter the Gungeon for sure. What else can I say about the game? Like it's so simple. It's a twin stick shooter. You have to go through all of these levels. You can rescue survivors, I guess, and bring them to a certain spot to get some extra items and stuff like that. You collect weapons, greater weapons to fight. They have ammo, so they get depleted. There's some boss after each studio. Like I guess there's a lot to talk about, right? But I mean, it's very fun. It's very polished, I find. I haven't found too many bugs. The music is awesome, composed by Rob, the developer itself. So with Rob, we've heard that financially they're not doing very well, but so far people seem to like the game. So maybe it's a hope for them to continue their work.
Now, I know when I was streaming this, you were in the chat there, but you were up earlier that morning, so you had your first run at it well before I was awake. But you said to me, John, be prepared to die. And isn't that the truth? Because you might as well, in the hour that I streamed it, I probably died 100 times, if not more. I mean, it's so fun. It just allows you to play and just take out your frustrations in the game there. We did talk about because I know like the prologue or the demo season or whatever that they had put out there on PC last year. There was a lot of swearing and whatnot in it. When we talked with Rob, he said that they toned it down, but we also found too that there's an option to completely turn that voice off because they still do swear. I mean, it's funny. Like the stuff that they say is funny, but it is pretty constant. And if you're streaming it and you want your audience to be able to listen without having to worry about, if they've got, just the language in it, you can turn off that, the character's voice altogether. So I think that's pretty cool. There's also different assists in the game. Like you can have aim assist. You can have, I don't know what else, show the enemy health bars and things like that. So,
slower enemies, I think. And, there's a lot of options. Yeah,
there's a lot of options. It still puts up a great battle. one thing that I didn't see that they had in it that I was hoping for was like a leaderboard, because I know, like, I saw
Yeah.
you post, I saw Petter Games Craig post, like, this is, their high scores and whatnot so far. I think that would be a cool addition to the game. I mean, obviously, as well as having it multiplayer, even if it was local, I would be fine with that. But like a high score or like the leaderboard, I think would be really cool. So who knows? Maybe that could be added in the future. Adam, I don't know. Is this Death Run TV? Is that up your alley, or something you might give it a try? Or
I'll definitely give it a try. At the very least, I need to pixel count it.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly right.
But yeah, no, I don't know that it is up my alley because it's very much a roguelike, and
Yes.
I tend not to be into games that
That's what I
try to
thought.
make me destroy expensive
Yeah.
electrical goods, like throwing my controller at my TV and stuff. But at the same time, there's been the odd roguelike that I've enjoyed. As Vivi pointed out, Extraction is basically a roguelike, so
Yep.
Right.
so yeah, I'll definitely be giving it a go. You never know; it might be a game I really enjoy. I don't see myself playing it very much, just because it isn't in my real
Right.
like cone of focus, I guess. I'm very much a simulation guy.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I will absolutely be giving it a go, and yeah, I'll let you know what I think.
Awesome. All right, and our fourth game in the Stadia Pro lineup that was new here to Stadia is Through the Darkest of Times. So this is, and I haven't had a chance to play this yet. Basically, what it says here is lead an underground resistance group in the 1933's Berlin. Your goal is to deal small blows to Hitler's Third Reich regime, dropping leaflets to spread awareness, painting messages on walls, sabotaging, gathering information, and recruiting more followers. And all of that while staying undercover. If the regime's forces learn about your group, the life of each member is in grave danger. Now, this comes from our friends at Handy Games. So this is, another, I think this is like another game. It's kind of the strategy type novel, that you could definitely like play on your phone, like maybe whether you're sitting on the sofa, the couch, in bed, or something like that. I mean, have either of you, Ninja or Original Penguin, have you tried this game or know about this game, or you have interest in the game?
Oh, one thing I will say is I'm not going to mention any of those words that probably going to demonetize your video, that are in the game description. But yeah, no, I mean, it reminds me very much. In fact, it reminds me incredibly of. Is it called Beholder? I think it might be called Beholder. There's a mobile game. It's on multiple platforms actually, but I've played it on my phone. Where you are like a landlord and you have to spy on the people that live within the block of flats. For I'm pretty sure it's for your Russian government, and the graphics in this remind me so much of it, so much. So yeah, I'll definitely be giving it a go. It looks interesting.
See if I can put it up.
Yeah, I don't really know what else there is to say about it. It just looks interesting. It looks like one of those games that you can spend a little bit of time on. I can't imagine it's very long. And you would play it like when you're on the bus to work, or you got 10-15 minutes here and there. It just seems like one of those sorts of games. Yeah, which isn't a bad thing at all. It's great to have those games that you can play in small chunks.
Yep, yeah, definitely. What about you, Ninja? Do you have any thoughts on Through the Darkest of Time? Is this something that you're playing, or maybe with your significant other as well?
Well, Actually, well, I've looked, a little bit of pictures in gameplay, and for some reason, it just doesn't appeal to me. And it's
Mm.
probably just simply because I'm not really a simulator type of player. I don't really like
Mhm.
simulator games or strategy games. I do like tactic turn-based games, but
Mhm.
strategies like that, it's not really up my alley. But when a game is not up my alley, what I do is I watch people stream it. So whenever, if Original Penguin or you, John, you decide to stream this one, then I'll
Mhm.
definitely give it a watch to it, and maybe it'll change my mind. But at the moment, it doesn't really appeal to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everyone has their own. Not every game is going to appeal to everybody, so it's great to hear both of your thoughts on this as well. So that's awesome. And we also had 3 other games join the Stadia Pro lineup. Golf with your friends, Adam. We know that you're a big
Amazing game.
fan. Yes, amazing.
Amazing
You have
game.
up
Even with all the
12
bugs,
people
the
can play.
bugs
Yeah,
make it work. That's what's great about the
yeah.
game. When you
I,
have half of the map that is
uh-huh.
that your ball clips through, that's what makes the game incredible,
So
right?
silly.
You
It's
have to
it.
be grateful for the bugs, because if there
Mhm.
weren't any bugs, the game would be boring. It's just
There you
golf.
go.
Look at
Yeah,
2K, whatever it is, 2K,
yeah.
PGA,
PGA
blah blah
2K,
blah.
yeah.
Their game names always confuse me, but the PGA game, the golfing game,
Yep.
that game's just hitting a ball. It's boring. But if the ball would fall through the floor every now and then, that would be a bit more interesting. It'd be
Yeah,
a bit more challenging.
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. As we talked about earlier, this game came from Team 17. It was their first game on Stadia, and I too was pretty shocked that it wasn't a Stadia Pro game when it launched, because I mean, this is a perfect, right? 12 players having fun. So I'm so happy to see now that Golf with Your Friends is an addition to Stadia Pro. I also hope Overcooked follows that same route, that we see that come at it to Stadia Pro, and fingers crossed that Worms launches into Stadia Pro, because I think all 3 games are perfect additions. Uh, just having more people being able to play it, and that great revenue stream that Stadia Pro offers. So fun
Um,
time.
I just want to broach a comment that Vivi
Mhm.
has put in the chat about golf with your
Okay.
friends is great. I have the best strategies. Vivi is horrendous to play with, because his strategy is to just keep hitting your ball away from the hole. That is all he'll do. He'll wait until the time is almost up, and then he'll pot his ball. Right. So he does not have the best strategy. He has the most infuriating strategy, because you're there like, oh,
Oh
I'm just
my
going to gently
gosh.
tap this in. And before you can even hit your ball has already been flung off of the course, and it's now
he,
basically gone to orbit.
he plays like a roguelike, right? Like he makes it
Yeah,
infuriating. Yeah.
exactly. VV's turned mini golf into a PvP game.
Not surprising. The more I get to
Yeah.
know Vivi over these
Yeah.
last couple of years, the more that, like, that doesn't surprise me at
Yeah.
all. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Oh geez. So our next game on here, Adam mentioned he did a pixel count for it. Tohu. Um, that was a game I know on Twitter a couple of weeks ago. Mr. Bayron Plays Paul was asking about it. And he said, John, have you played this? Or because it was on sale, or have you streamed it? No, I hadn't. And I think there were some others as well that chimed in there, like, oh, this would be interesting. I think Petter Games as well. Sure enough, here it is on Stadia Pro. I don't know a whole lot about this. I know you mentioned, Adam, that it's like hand drawn there, so it is a pain in the butt to pixel count. But it says here, experience a brand new adventure game set amongst the world of weird and wonderful fish planets. Explore beautiful environments, solve intricate puzzles, and discover the truth about a mysterious little girl and her mechanical alter ego, Cubus. Ninja,
They say it
do you,
themselves. It's a
yeah,
weird world, and it is.
yeah,
It's such a peculiar game. So
yeah.
peculiar.
It definitely is. Ninja, do you know anything about this? Like, have you played this before, or? or is this new to you as well? Oh, maybe Ninja might not have heard me. So Ninja,
I'm back.
no,
Okay.
you're back. Okay,
Yeah.
so I don't know. So Tohu here, is this?
Yes.
Have you had a chance to play this before? Do you know anything about it, or?
I did not had a chance to play it. I'm very curious about it. I haven't watched much because I feel like there's some games where it's better experience when you don't look a lot about stuff, right? So I barely know anything about this game. I've learned a little bit from the Rocks show because you guys talked a little bit about it on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it piques my curiosity. I'm gonna try it a day where I just don't know what to play. I just want to start something fast, and it's definitely going to be one of these games.
Awesome. Yeah. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to play. I've got it in the shoot to try and stream, so it'd be interesting to see. I always like to give every game a chance. It may or may not to be. If it's going to be super difficult, then it might be put on the back burner. But we'll give it a shot there. And our last game here. Of the 7 Stadia Pro games in June is Ben 10 Power Trip. Now, Ninja, I know you've played this because you did a review on my channel not so long ago of Ben 10 Power Trip.
Yeah.
Is there kind of like, for those that haven't had a chance to watch Ninja's review here, could you maybe share like some of your thoughts on the game with us here?
Yeah, definitely. Just to get it out, my impression is very good. Like, I finished the game; it was super enjoyable. Outright games, they put out quality titles, even if they're made for kids or young adults. For this game, right? They put on great stuff. So this is like a type of an open world game. Like there's a lot of collectibles, and it's always fresh because every time you unlock new alien powers, so you always get like a new character, and the story is funny, and so I really enjoy the game. It also has local co-op, and I really recommend it to anyone to give it a try if you're into these type of game, because it got me back into the old PlayStation 2 days, adventure games like Ratchet and Clank and all of these things. But yeah, it just felt nostalgic for me. So yeah, like I would play it again if I had to, for sure.
Awesome. Adam, Original Penguin, what about you? Are you a Ben 10 fan or a fan of outright games?
I don't want to sound what's the word, snobby, I guess, or ignorant, but I don't really play kids games that much.
No, that's okay. I mean,
I'm sure it's a fantastic game, but it's just give me someone to kill. I don't. That's all I can really say, really.
That's a nice way to put it there, but no, like we said here, like not every game is for everybody, so to each their own. We don't judge, so that's good. That's your it's not in your repertoire of games or things like that, so that's fair enough. Mostly Martinez says Hezekiah started it and he liked it. He wants to co-op with him as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. So that was just the Stadia Pro games for June. Woo. Next, we're moving on here. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid roster update. Now, Power Rangers Battle is like a fighting game like Street Fighter. I've dabbled in it here or there. I know that there's some like the Cowboy. He's really big into this game. There's a new update. It's out now, 2.91, and it says it addresses the character and gameplay changes across the grid. It says here you can expect to see battle changes for several characters, and whether it's more effort required to defeat your foes or reduce the damage to give others a chance. So they're basically doing some balancing there of the characters and whatnot. It says here that the new update also tackles Megazord adjustments, in addition to all the buffs and nerfs galore. Be sure to head on over to Power Rangers Battle for the Grid for a more phenomenal experience. Wow, I always get tongue-tied here on the shows. Power Rangers, I know that was like super in the, was it mid to late 90s? It was like super popular. I don't know, like I know recently, I guess maybe within the last 10 years or so, their popularity's come back a bit, but maybe not as much as it used to be. Like I said, like this game here, I've played it just maybe a handful of times at most. But it's not really like my cup of tea there. I really guess it doesn't scratch that itch here. I don't know, Ninja, Power Rangers, is that something that interests you, or?
Yeah, like I really like fighting games. So like it wouldn't be because I'm familiar with Power Rangers or not, but I've seen the Cowboy play, and oh my gosh, it looks amazing. I mean, the battle seems so much fun. There's a lot of juggling in the game, and you seem to be mastering this pretty good. So I definitely want to give it a try. In the 90s, I really enjoyed Power Ranger, but after a while, it got some, like, I didn't have a chance to watch it a lot because it had controversies, right? Like the violence and all that. So my parents didn't allow me to watch it and things like that. So I couldn't get too much into Power Rangers, unfortunately, maybe just a few episodes. But yeah, it
Oh, there we go. His internet cut off. So Adam, have you pixel
something
counted
that maybe
this
I
game?
want to give it to it's
Yes, I have pixel counted the game a little while ago. I can't remember what it is offhand. That was not a question I was prepared for, by the way. So yes, I've pixel counted the game. I've also played the game. I tried to give it a fair try. The problem is I wasn't interested in Power Rangers even when they were popular. I thought it was boring. If I'm completely honest, I know I'm not making any friends in the chat saying stuff like that, but there was a reason why their popularity died out. And so I actually genuinely tried to give this game a fair shot because I know I don't like fighting games,
Right?
but I thought maybe I can get into them. Maybe it's just I don't like the button. When I used to play fighting games, they were just button smashers. There was no tactics to it. It was just you smash buttons as quickly as possible and you'll win. But no, I played it for about a month and I just couldn't get into it. It's not my cup of tea. It may well be that there's some tactics to it, but it still felt like a button smasher, like from when I was a kid. So it's not my cup of tea.
Even like with PvE, like it's not something that you enjoy playing. I'm just curious,
Yeah, no, well, so that's how I was playing.
Okay.
I don't know if I was aware that it was cross-play at the time, because I know now that it's got cross-play, but no, the PvE was really where I wasn't enjoying it because I was just smashing buttons and most of the time I would win. I didn't really have to do any tactics. So, yeah.
I understand,
Yeah, well, so that's it on the Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, a roster update, some balances and whatnot. And our final piece on the blog post for this week was the Elder Scrolls Online High Isle. So that's launched on Stadia here, June the 6th. So that's upcoming here. That's what? So that's in 3 days. So that's Monday, it looks like, that will launch. And I believe this also launches on PC at the same time, and then on Xbox and PlayStation a few weeks later. It says here, a brand new Elder Scrolls adventure is arriving on Stadia. So get ready to defend the legacy of the Bretons in ESO's upcoming High Isle chapter. Learn more about the history and background of and I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, people in a recent story trailer and discover more about the noble knight aspirant, an in-game companion. Isabel is voiced by none other than Laura Bailey. And when we were talking about this on Rock Show on Tuesday, I said, Rock, you don't know who Laura Bailey is? And of course, slipped my mind. She's a famous, she does a lot of voicing for games, The Last of Us, Part 2, and I forget all what's on her resume of games, but it's very extensive. So
Yes, lots of good
it's
games.
yeah, it is awesome. And they also say here, this is also your last chance to receive the Pale Frost Elk mount and additional in-game rewards for pre-purchasing this add-on here. So don't miss out on your chance to claim these bonus in-game goodies before the new chapter lands on June the 6th, Monday. So I know, like, we've talked about this before, Ninja, you and I, not really fans or have played Elder Scrolls Online. I know Fletch, he's been played, he's out in the chat there, played Elder Scrolls and whatnot. Adam, do you have any thoughts or comments on Elder Scrolls here? Or
I loved Skyrim.
yeah,
I absolutely loved Skyrim.
Mhm.
But when it comes to Elder Scrolls, it's too much of an MMO for me. There's too much monetization in there.
Mhm.
Like having a monthly subscription for a game that you pay for, it blows my mind that
Right,
that
yeah.
is. And as a result, I mean, I gave it a go when it first launched. I tried playing it for a little while, and it just felt like, oh, this is really going to upset some people. It just felt like a bland MMO. That's all.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all I got from it. Was I was just going one place to another place, then back, and then, and it felt like it would never end. Like there was no
Yeah.
end to this game. Every time I think I'd make any progress, it would feel like, nope, I've now got to do 5,000 other
quests.
things.
Yeah, exactly.
It is a game that I would like to like. I really would, because I have
Yeah,
such
same
fond
here.
memories of Skyrim. But I just can't. Not once there's that premium, that monthly subscription, that really puts me off.
Is there an MMO that you've been invested into before, Adam? Just out of curiosity.
A few, actually. I've really been enjoying. Sorry, I say I really have been. I really enjoyed RuneScape as a kid, and Habbo Hotel. I guess you could describe that as an MMO.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Holy crap. That was like in the early 2000s. Oh my gosh. I remember that.
No, not really any MMOs. I mean, RuneScape, but not really in the same sort of sense as Elder Scrolls. Also, someone has said that the monthly membership is voluntary, and yes, it is.
Okay.
But in my eyes, that's making it a pay-to-win game, and
yeah,
I'm just not interested in playing pay-to-wins at all.
Right, yeah. That makes sense. Like, this is, again, something I would love to play, but I don't have the time nor the patience.
Lots of time.
Yeah, like, because you basically have to dedicate, like, yourself to just playing this game, learning all the ins and outs, and I'm sure there's just a crap load of content here. And there are a ton of people that enjoy it, and that's great, but yeah, for me, I think it's always one of those games that, I would like to like it, but I can't, right? You know what I mean? Like, I don't have that time.
Yeah, and it's the same reason why me and you, John, are not playing Destiny 2, because we know that whenever we start that, we have so much stuff to do. We got to make sure that we're like willing to go ahead and take so much time to do all of this, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's like Grand Theft Auto 5 as well. The online people are saying they really want GTA 5 to come to Stadia, and honestly, obviously it would be a boost for the platform. But if it did, I'd only buy the game to replay the story. Maybe I wouldn't touch online. I've spent far too much time and far too much money on that game. At some point, you have to say to yourself, "This is unhealthy."
Yeah,
and £400 and about 2,000 hours was when I said,
wow.
This is unhealthy.
Well, yeah, I mean, Rockstar has made oodles and oodles of money off of Grand Theft Auto 5 and also online. Like, they don't even have to release Grand Theft Auto 6. Like, they could just continue supporting online and just be set for life. Like, it's amazing how popular and how much money that they make from the game. So
Yeah.
we see here Fletch is saying, I love Elder Scrolls Online, but it takes hundreds of hours and I don't have enough time for one game anymore. And that's so true. Like maybe if I was like back when I was a teenager, carefree, didn't have to worry about a job or money or things like that, and it was just school, you know what I think? Like back in those high school days and things like that, where it was a little less stressful, then sure. But yeah, now like these days I can't, like I don't have that time and actually really will to do so anymore. But kudos to those who do enjoy it, and like I said, there's a ton out there that really do. So that was this week on Stadia's blog post, and next we're moving on to a little bit of information here. This is so awesome because 314 Arts, this was 100% because of the community here. 314 Arts, there was someone in the community, and I first saw it posted on Reddit, that they mentioned that 314 Arts had an upcoming game. They were starting a Kickstarter, Project Z. And they, you know, this individual, which, forgive me, I forget who it was. He was on Discord as well, but has since left the Discord. Basically, you know, went in and asked
the real Soldier Boy, I think his name.
There you go. Yep, the real Soldier Boy, and went in and asked the developers about Stadia, and they were kind of like, and then it took off. We put tweets out on Twitter, and it really got their attention. Like we interviewed Daniel here, I believe it was, from 314 Arts. Sorry if that's wrong. I think I'm
mixing it with him from Elemental Wars. It was almost the same time, right? So I think Daniel was from Elemental Wars.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember. Yeah. I'm not too sure.
All right. So, well, anyway, we interviewed someone to give us here from 314 Arts, and we learned a lot about the game. And basically, he was saying like the reach out from the community was absolutely amazing. They were all like, WTF, like what's going on? They knew nothing about Stadia. It's this studio over in Germany, I believe. They had a Kickstarter. The Kickstarter didn't make its goal there, but when we talked with them on Stadium Connect North here and we interviewed them, let us know that there's a plan B. And it's great to see here that now this was done really quickly. Like, I think this was like the time from when they applied to when they got accepted here as a developer for Stadia is in a matter of months, maybe 2 months at tops.
Yeah.
If even that. So that is so awesome, so amazing. And they did confirm in another tweet that yes, we will see Project Z here on Stadia. It's not scheduled to release until 2024. I know that there's some alphas and betas coming next year, so hopefully that will be extended to the Stadia community as well. But just a huge shout out to 314 Arts and the community, each and every one of you. You helped make this happen because they had no idea what Stadia was just a couple of months ago. And we see this is common. Like our friend over the Outbreak series, Ninja. I forget.
Evan.
Yes, Evan. Oh my gosh, Evan. Again, that was another game in the community, tweeted out about it, and it just caught on. Again, we spoke with Evan as well, and there's a campaign. He's got his application in to become a developer to bring Outbreak, possibly previous games in the series, or future episodes of his games onto Stadia. So it's a very powerful tool of being vocal and showing your support. Again, don't let anybody tell you that you're just wasting your time, because if you believe in it, if this is something that you really like, and as long as you're keeping it in a nice professional manner, you can do wonders. Paul said, I see there, it says happy for them. So this is so awesome, and definitely happy to see this there. We saw this tweet like Go
Yeah,
ahead.
like it's
No.
such an impressive looking game. It's made with Unity, but it's hard to believe. Like those graphics are so gorgeous. Like it's
It looks
amazing. When
more
they
like Unreal, doesn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, it
exactly.
does.
We were
It
so
does.
surprised when they said that it was made with Unity.
Yep.
But
So it's
I was
awesome.
also surprised to find that City Skylines was made with Unity because
Oh, wow.
Unity is always
Oh.
described as the 2D game engine.
Mm-hmm.
And considering how long City Skylines has been out as well, so
Yeah.
I'm genuinely impressed with how well they're managing with Unity. I've used Unity in the past for some game dev, and it takes some getting used to. I mean, it is user friendly, but user friendly usually means there's limitations. So that's why it's all
Right.
the more impressive that they've made it look as great as it does. And I'm genuinely looking forward to this game. Unfortunately, when the Kickstarter launched, I wasn't able to back the game. I'd just taken on a new job, and you work a month in hand. So because I was a month without money, I had to it was a strict budget, and
Right. Definitely.
and so I didn't get a chance to.
Oh, Adam, it's your fault that the game didn't get
My
started.
But I am really, really hoping that it manages to get through production and they find the funding, and then it comes to Stadia, because there's nothing quite like shooting German members of a historical military, an evil historical military that are zombified. So it should be fun. I'm trying my best there not to use the trigger words that will demonetize your video.
That's okay. I appreciate that. All right, so we're moving on here. Talking Dogs. This is another game. Again, Mr. 1030 reached out to this developer several months ago, got them on the Stadia kick here, and we've had them on the show here. I actually got an early preview of the game a couple of days ago as well. We now know that Talking Dogs is going to be coming out June 30th, 2023. So a little over a year, and Talking Dogs will be out. We also saw here Carson released some footage here that he shot off screen. He originally was going to have today officially release some footage of the game, basically like the one some of this that I was able to view and see, but decided to rethink it, maybe do a few more polishing up, recapture some things, and so we should hear more information and see footage from Talking Dogs. Phil here, he looks so good.
So John, can you give us some little hints of what you saw?
Well, basically Carson said you can just comment on what you thought, how it looked. We don't want to do any gameplay yet, so I don't want to make Carson mad at me here. We verbally agreed to an NDA, so this is good. It's running Unreal Engine 5. This is fantastic because it's just Carson himself that is doing this. Like, this is all one person. I love the redesign of Phil here. The environments in the game look really good, and I'm excited. Like, this is going to be a game, like if you're a dog lover, it's a family-oriented game as well. Yes.
If you're a dog lover. I mean, who isn't a dog lover?
Well, you never know. So it's awesome. I can't wait to hear more from Carson about this. And then I believe if we scroll down, so here's one of the screenshots here. And you can see it's still it's coming out next year, so he's working on
my
it
birthday next year, which will be good.
Nice. There you go. So fantastic. Shout out to Carson Kelly Game. Excited to hear more about Talking Dogs in Phil in the very near future. Alrighty, so here's a wee little game that Terraria here that came out. Let me see can I maximize it? Oh, then I can't see. Okay, so we won't. So this came out on Stadia. There was a little hubbub around it because the developer had some issues with their Gmail account and whatnot. But we won't talk about that. So Terraria has been out on Stadia for a little while. I streamed it with Original Penguin when it came out here, and he is fantastic at this game. I totally suck, but there's been several updates, and this most recent update here is version 1.4.3. It was released on all the other platforms back at the end of April, and they just said, well, yep, it will be coming to Stadia. And sure enough, now it's live about a month later. It includes the Don't Starve crossover content. So we have new items, there's pets, there's a new boss. Let's get this on loop here. There are 3 new achievements to unlock. You can customize the color of your cursor for those that are into that, and a bunch of different other improvements as well to the game here. So, Adam, seeing as you're a big fan of Terraria here, do you have any thoughts? I know you haven't had a chance to try this new update yet, but like visually, how is it looking for you? Like, what are you thinking?
It just
about
looks like good old Terraria or Terraria. Okay, I call it
Okay.
Terraria, even though I know it's wrong. Okay,
Okay.
so let's just move past me calling it Terraria because I get people take the mick out of me for doing that all the time. So
Okay.
just live with it, okay, guys? Not just
Okay.
you, chat as well. Live with it. So, yeah, I have a massive love for Terraria. I've been playing it for, God, how old am I now? 27.
Mhm.
Oh, it's probably been 10 years, I guess. I think it must be about 10 years.
Yep.
And, the game doesn't get old. That's the crazy thing about the game. It just doesn't get old. You can start again, and there's always something new to do in the game. There's always some new thing you can build or some new idea that you might have. And just the amazing thing is that they're still adding content to this game. There's been so many times that this game has been said, this is the last update we're going to do. We're going to start working on another game. And, I was I was watching like a documentary on Terraria about why this kept happening, why they kept saying, we're going to stop. It's because the owner wanted to move on to a new game, but people loved Terraria so much that kept being pulled back and things didn't work out. Starfield wasn't as big a success as Terraria was. So yeah, it's great to see more content. Obviously, I'm looking forward to trying the boss, but I still haven't killed the Moon Lord. So I have no idea whether I'm ever going to be able to experience the new boss. I'm assuming it comes after the Moon Lord. It might come earlier.
Yeah. This looks great. Like, I always enjoy watching you play. I mean, I have so much. I'm so bad at the game. Like, I even have trouble with just even the yo-yo itself. But yeah, it looks fantastic, and it's great to see. Like we said, I know the developer had a few issues and wasn't too keen on Stadia after they had issues with their Gmail and Google account, but regardless, here it is. 505 Games is the publisher, and it's great to see that this update did come to Stadia here. In another note here, Sky Climbers, they put out a blog here, and VV was a host of a fantastic Q&A with them on the Stadia Discord with Paratrope. It was so awesome. We learned a lot about the game here. They've put an update out here saying that the Sky Climbers early access release date has been pushed back to the second half of 2023. If I remember correctly, they were targeting for around November, the early access for this year. I know there's some alpha, like we've gotten keys for the PC game and the alpha and whatnot. But the early access has been pushed back to the second half of next year. So roughly about this time next year. And of course, just like anything, they're just a small team of, I believe it's 10, maybe 12 people developing this game. So this decision was difficult to make, but has been made in our players' best interest, and that's always good to hear. I'd rather them take the time that they need rather than rush it and try to put fixes out after. They even say here the additional time will allow us to add more features, dynasties, and cross-platform support. So that is awesome to hear. Just a little bit of news out of the Sky Climbers camp here. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it here. And like I said, the Q&A that Vivi had over on the Stadia Discord was really, really insightful. And hats off to them for that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the type of game that I usually enjoy, but because of the graphics and because of the story he tells, it looks so interesting. So I'm so curious to give it a try.
Yeah. Adam, what about you? Do you have any thoughts on Sky Climbers?
I've got the alpha. I have the alpha on PC, and it seems interesting. The problem I have is I know it's an alpha. I know I'm not going to get all the instructions that I need to play it, but I got really confused with the game. I couldn't figure out. I might have encountered a bug, but I don't know if I encountered a bug. Where I couldn't seem to interact with anything. But I don't know if it's just because I didn't know how to interact, or if there's no interaction in the game yet. So I've decided to wait until they've released a few updates before I try it again. But yeah, I did back the game. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's more a case of my partner is looking forward to it, because I know there's if I remember correctly, there's like foxes and animals and stuff like that in the game, which piqued Zach's interest. So that's why I bought 2 copies, was so that we could play together. Not necessarily because it was something I was lasered in on, but I definitely will be giving it a go, and I'm looking forward to it eventually coming. I don't mind the delay. I honestly thought that they were very, very ambitious with their release schedule. Incredibly ambitious. But so I kind of expected this, to be honest, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's another delay. It's just the nature of the game, so to speak. So
and I know, like on the Q&A with the Discord, when we ask, because they also announced too that the development of the Stadia version they put on hold for right now because of the low change porting tools. They wanted to, give it a chance for those to roll out to more developers, because why put all your time and work into bringing this over to the platform when in 6 to 8 months they're going to have tools that are going to make it that much easier. So this just gives them more of a chance there. They were anticipating end of the year to get a hold of those tools for the Stadia version. So I think this is good. Like, we don't like them to rush the games. I have the alpha on my PC installed, but I haven't tried it yet, to be honest with you. It's on, the list of those things to do and try, but I'm excited for this game. But definitely take the time, make it right, release it when the developer feels, more comfortable in it. It's the best that they believe it can be. So, alrighty, so that's a little bit of news out of Sky Climbers here. We heard from our friends over at Konami. Super Bomberman are online. Unfortunately, at the end of this year, on December 1st, it will no longer, it'll cease to exist.
Sad times.
They're terminating the game here, the online. It's all online anyways. But this was first came out on Stadia, and then we saw it come across Xbox, PlayStation, and PC as well, cross-play support. I mean, I've played it and had fun with it. I know, many people in the community have had fun with this game. InLead even put a tweet out here to say maybe the Stadia community can arrange a goodbye tournament for November for the game here, and maybe we can crown the ultimate Super Bomberman our online Stadia champion. So that sounds like a fun deal. I don't know. What about you, Ninja and Penguin? Or is I know Ninja. I think you've played the game, like you enjoyed
Yeah,
this, right?
really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. It's very nostalgic to me too because it was in the Summer Community Championship. I practiced so much to get good at this game, and we had a lot of community events. For me, this was my favorite community event game out of every Stadia games. Wreckfest is fun, and all of these games, Outcasters. But no, I'm very sad that it's going to be the end of it, and I really hope that we do organize a few more community events before it goes out because I enjoy those.
Yeah, for sure. Penguin, do you fancy a game or two of Super Bomberman R Online?
I'll play, but I'm absolutely god awful at this game. It's one of those games that I know I'm going to lose at. I tend to blow myself up pretty much within the first 10 seconds of the game. I tell you one thing though, I do have fond memories of this game for the Summer Community Championship in the finals. I think it was the winter or was it the summer one that we did?
It was a summer one. It was your
Summer,
first.
So that was the first time I hosted the finals.
Yeah,
and it was raucous. It was just absolute insane and hilarious. It was brilliant. Vivi, I mean, hats off to him. He was doing a fantastic job as a commentator, reading all the names out and being like, I don't know what's going on. But then again, I had quite a lot to keep my eye on behind the scene. I have some really good memories of Super Bomberman R Online, but not necessarily from playing it. I am not surprised that they are ending support for the game. A little bit surprised that it's this soon, but I'm not surprised. I think Stadia had an exclusivity of 1 year, and when
Something
it did
like that,
eventually launch,
That's
I
amazing.
don't think it launched to enough pomp and circumstance. I thought it was quite under-marketed. And as a result, I think probably the player numbers dwindled very quickly because just not enough people knew about it. So yeah, I'm not surprised. It is a shame. Obviously, it's always a shame when games aren't being supported anymore. But it paves the way for the next thing to come along, and you never know. Maybe the next Super Bomberman game will be just as good or even better.
I really hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the lights are turning off December 1st, 2022. So, maybe we can arrange some type of a Stadia party where we try to stay onto the server as long as we can and see who's the last kicked. I don't know whether they just completely turn it off at that time or they wait for players to disconnect. But, like we said, it's sad to see the game go, but hopefully the next iteration of it will be even that much better. Our good friends over at Triangle Games here, Triangle Studios, and From Space. Again, we talked with them a couple of months ago, and we learned From Space has undergone the graphics have been updated and changed from the demo. And here's our first screenshot. It's a 1080p crop of an 8K native res screenshot. And of course, Twitter adds compression, and the streaming here is going to add a little bit more compression. But I am totally digging this new look here. The characters in this screenshot here looks awesome, and those aliens, and I don't know, was that an egg over to his right? A pink egg with some slime or whatever on it. It just looks absolutely fabulous. I can't wait to play this game. I know, Ninja, you and we played the demo together. It was so much fun. This is awesome. I really can't wait. And saw this tweet show up here earlier today and thought, wow, let's definitely talk about this and show it on the show.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be released sometime soon. Like the way it's going, like he keeps talking about it, a lot more news about it. So I think we should be seeing it maybe in the next few months, hopefully. And like compared to It Came From Space and Ader Brain, like this game looks even better. I couldn't even imagine that it would, but the glaring and all the graphics, like
Yeah.
they really did an amazing job. So
Yep.
yeah, I'm gonna play that one for sure.
Yep. Sure. Penguin, how about you? Is this did you play It Came from Space and Ate Our Brains?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's they've got two games, haven't they? Which one is this one? Is this the full game or is this the demo one?
So this is their upcoming. This is the full. This is a shot from space. Their upcoming. It's the basically the sequel to It Came from Space and Ate Their Brains. The demo's
Okay, yeah,
now
yeah.
been taken down, and they're getting closer to launch here. They've got a publisher now. Now we're starting to see screenshots. So like Ninja said, hopefully within the next couple of months, it looks like we're going to see this game launch. And we know it's coming to Stadia and PC. And I have an itch or an inkling to believe we'll also see it on probably Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed playing the demo,
Mhm.
and yeah, I'm looking forward to this game launching. I have a slight suspicion that, of course, it's going to launch on other platforms, but I have a slight suspicion that they might launch it on Pro on Stadia,
That
where
would be-
they already had the business deal for the demo
Mhm.
to be on Stadia.
Mhm.
It just makes sense for me that
Yep.
Stadia would say, you know, we'd love to put this on Pro when you're ready.
Yep.
So
And
yeah,
it came from space and Ate Your Brains is on Pro as well now. So
and it
think
also has a ridiculously long title.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh, yes.
exactly. So I think that's a safe bet. I think what Penguin's saying there about launching into Pro, there's a really good chance on that happening. I would love to see it. Again, I think any of the multiplayer games would be perfect addition to Stadia Pro because of that revenue model of them, just being able to make that extra money there. I think it's great.
Mhm.
So hopefully we see that launch onto Pro.
So you know what, John and Adam,
Mhm.
it came from space and Ate Our Brain is kind of long. So what do you guys think if we call it From Space from now on? Deal?
There we go. Yep, that
Yeah.
sounds like a good deal here.
Perfect.
Alrighty. So our last bit of news here comes from our good friends at Ubisoft. Oops. Ghost Recon Breakpoint. There was an issue that everyone's saved games got wiped. People started launching the game and they were like, I spent so many hours and had so much fun, and now all my progress is lost. It wasn't on any other platform. Some people said, "Oh, this is with Stadia. This is I thought this
yeah.
wasn't supposed to happen." They were trying to point the fingers, and turns out this was an issue on Ubisoft's end here. They have since resolved the issue. There might still be some out there that their saved games have not been restored. If that's the case, you just need to contact Ubisoft, because I know when they mentioned this here, Ninja, your save wasn't back. What did you have to do to get your save restored?
So I did contact support afterwards. Support didn't get back to me, but the day after, I took a look and my save was restored. So I went ahead and closed the case since I didn't need their help anymore. So maybe the rollout wasn't completely done when they announced it, but yeah, I'm super happy that they restored that, because oh my gosh, it's so much time done in this game, right? Like I didn't want to do it
Yeah.
all over again. So
Tell me about it. I dreaded opening
yeah,
the game.
right, Adam. Yeah, you played so much.
I've got 200 hours on Breakpoint, and I'm like 3% away from 100% completion on that game. Like all the collectibles and all the missions and everything like that. And when I read that, genuinely my stomach dropped, and I was like, I am never touching that game again if I've lost all of my saves.
Yeah, and there were many that I saw, and rightfully so. I mean, you spent all that time on it, and then all of a sudden your save game is gone. But you know what was awesome here is that they did this. The turnaround time was about 6 days, and it was even over an American holiday long weekend as well. So kudos to the team at Ubisoft for getting this done and restoring faith into players here with their save games, because I understand too, like, you're putting all that time and hard work and effort into the games, and it just gets, all of a sudden you go back to play and it's gone. You'd be totally like pissed off. But
Yeah.
so happy that they got it back here, and that's all I have for our Stadia news here.
Oh man, is that it? Like, I'm sure the audience want more, right? Like, why don't we tell them about the community news now?
There we go.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, guys, let's go ahead and talk to you about a few things happening with the community. So first and foremost, InLead got 1,000 followers now. So congratulations to InLead, and I know that Penguin, Adam, and John, you guys are pretty familiar with InLead in general, right? Like, he's pretty much everywhere. He likes to do some statistics on things, and and yeah. So what's that?
He's pretty much everywhere, like a bad cold.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, is he ever, right? Like,
That's what came to mind when you said that. Yeah, no, InLead is like the fly on the wall that only pops up when you need him. He's like Batman,
Yeah.
and you don't even have to send out the bat signals. He knows that the InLead signal is like being thought about, and then it will pop up, and he's probably going to pop up in the chat now and be like, it took you this many seconds to mention my name.
He's so fast, like at everything, and like, I don't know if it's his internet connection that's like fast, or if he got like negative. What's it called? Like the Google thing, negative latency. Yeah.
You know what's really
tunneling.
awesome to see
What's
too
that?
is that on the 2nd anniversary of Stadia, they gave him a shout out as well, and recognized all the work that he's done with the Stadia Pro game monitor and things like that. So it's awesome. He is just like one of the many awesome people in the community around the world, and so a big congratulations, well deserved.
Yes.
On to 2,000, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm surprised that he wasn't at 1,000 yet. Like, it's super well deserved. Like, he really earned his numbers. So next up, we got a few people to congratulate today, and the next up is Helix Cloud Gamings with 1,500 subscribers on YouTube. And let me tell you something, getting this much of subscribers on YouTube is a lot harder, than Twitter. So that's amazing. Really good work. Congratulations to Helix Cloud Games. Again, super well deserved. They do a weekly podcast. The one thing that I really like about Helix Cloud on my end is that they're not scared of telling us what they think. Like, if Stadia had a bad week, they're going to talk about it. If they had a good week, they're going to show their excitement. They really like to dig into these subjects. So yeah. What about you, Adam? Are you familiar with Helix Cloud Games? What do you like about them?
Yeah, of course I am. I remember them back when they were called Sounds of Stadia.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love the gang. They're brilliant chaps. They're all very, very handsome and have wonderful voices.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably where you
Unlike
get
Stadium
1,500
Connect
subscribers from. It's just good looks and good voices.
Yeah.
Content's irrelevant, guys. It's just because you're eye candy and ear candy.
Yeah.
But no, they do some great content. They do a lot of great content, and they're lovely. They're lovely guys. So
I know, right? Yeah.
it's well deserved. And let's, usually at this point we'd say on to the next 1,500, but no, let's on to the next 15,000. Let's go.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
exactly. I was on one of their episodes there, and they're just absolutely, amazing to talk to. They're both very intelligent. They know,
Yes.
their things and their stuff, and just a great a duo there. And
Mhm.
like I said, just wish them all the best. And I'm confident we're going to see that 2,000,
Yeah.
3,000, 4,000 in no time at all. So a big shout out and congratulations to them.
Yeah, they're very consistent, and I always agree with whatever they say. And they always have even more stuff that I don't even think about. They really dig into these subjects, like I said, and yeah, I really enjoyed your content for sure. I wish I had more time to watch them because
Mhm.
yeah, they really give some top-notch stuff for sure. And one last person that we would like to praise today is none other than Rafael Polidoro. I think he's in the chat right now. So
Yes.
congrats to the scientist, aka StadiaNet, aka Rafael Polidoro. So congratulations for hitting 200 followers on Twitter, which is
Yeah.
a pretty good milestone. I think that 200 followers is pretty much when people starting to notice you and stuff. So hats off to you, Polidoro. I know you've been popping out a lot more than maybe like 6 months ago. I
Yeah.
didn't recognize you much, but yeah, it's amazing what you've done to the community. You raise your voice when you need to, and I really enjoy it. Like, I think the first time I heard about you was on, like, John posted a video about Wine Simulator, and I
Hmm.
was like, scientist, who is that? Like, and that's where I started searching. I was like, oh, that's
Yep.
that's a cool stadium right there. So
Yeah.
was really happy to meet him. What about you
And
guys?
also,
Yeah.
I was gonna say also a shout out to the scientist there. He just put out, and I'm talking with him here to see if we can schedule him to get him on the show here. He put out some findings. He did some research on Stadia Pro and the number of Stadia users. Uh, it happened
Right.
not too long before the show went on air here, so I haven't had a full chance to go over it. But lots of interesting data. But yeah, he is awesome. He's been around for a while and becoming more and more vocal in the community. Made those amazing winemaking simulator videos that I hosted for him on my channel here. And
Oh my
so
gosh!
yeah.
Wow.
Oh yes, look at this. He's saying, "Thanks, guys. I've been with John since Best Buy blog talked about Stadia 2 years and a half ago." Yeah, yeah,
That's
exactly.
crazy.
That's
Wow.
where it was. Yeah, when I put up my initial impressions there. So that's amazing. Yeah, hats off. Well deserved. A very very intelligent person, and I'm looking
Yes.
forward to having him on the show here and digging into that information because it is very detailed, and I can't wait for him to explain it.
Yeah. What about you, Adam? Are you familiar with Polydoro?
Yes, you made me a little bit confused there by
Yeah.
using the surname of
Yeah,
the
so many
account.
names, right? Yeah.
Yes, I've seen them about in the community. We've had our interactions, and as they've said in the chat, they found my City Skylines tutorial video
Yes.
Nice.
useful, which is a wonderful compliment. But yeah, I look forward to having more interactions with them. As always, I love talking with people whenever I get the chance to. I'm not as active anymore on social media with my new job, but whenever I get the opportunity to, I love chatting with anyone and everyone. And I hope that their venture into social mediaing goes well.
Yeah. So far, so
He's
good.
also a very big Dead by Daylight fan as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's how our first interaction, because I was gonna play on a stream with him and Dead by Daylight, but yeah, a big fan of that series, and I think he's even got a pretty big Discord following with that as well. So again, many hats of the scientists of Raphael Polidoro.
Mhm.
Uh, he's just a great individual.
Definitely. All right. So next up, something interesting came out, and it's not something that I was familiar with because I guess it's something that popped up when Stadia came out. So, Dead Run TVs has some achievements. But for some reason, one person, when he was looking at the achievements, he's got some weird achievements that wasn't part of the game. So he had an apple a day, orange you cool, go bananas, look at you grow, and social butterfly. And what I've learned from this, and I don't know if Adam and John was familiar with that before, but I wasn't, is that this is part of like a demo game that they were using for Stadia, back in the day. I don't know if they still use it, but it's kind of like a game where people are wondering like what it is, and
Worm,
yeah, Worm game. So as you can see, this was a small glitch. This demo game popped out for some reason, and it's pretty cool to see that it still exists in the database.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no doubt that there are loads of games that still exist in the database. This specifically reminds me of when we all got to play Project Orpheus. And copyright strikes and cease and desist letters. We got I was at Stadia Source at the time, and we got a cease and desist because I put my captures onto the website. So these accidents happen, and they're great for us as gamers because it's a nice little opportunity to try something we're not supposed to. It's a naughty little treat.
Yeah.
But I would love to have tried this Worm game myself. I can't imagine it's anything special. It's a demo game for I imagine the engineers and then maybe some journalists, and it's for the people behind the scenes more than anything. But it would have been cool to see what they made. I'm assuming the game was made by Google or someone contracted by Google. So maybe this is basically the only game that is fully exclusive to Stadia, but it's so exclusive even Stadians can't play it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so exclusive, right? Only the VIPs can get access to it. So yeah. Maybe we'll.
There's your first party games, everyone.
Yeah. Man, please give it to us. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Stadia is dead without it.
Yeah.
It's literally only possible in the cloud because that's the only place it exists.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So next up, we've got hashtag Media Guys. If you guys don't know him, he's also called MJ Sparks, and it used to be called Cult of Stadia before. So if you guys don't know, he actually started a YouTube channel like a few months ago. And what he does is like these small 1-minute review about Stadia games. I'm not going to show the whole thing there. I'm just going to put it on mute. But yeah, that's all he do. He puts his camera on, do a small, quick review of these games, and it's pretty interesting. So I just want to encourage you guys to go ahead and have a look at his reviews. They're they're interesting for people who have maybe like a short. Not a short-term memory, but like a short. What's the word I'm looking for? You know what I mean?
Saying a short attention span.
I think attention span.
The word you're looking for is when they want short-form content.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a nice way to say it. Yes,
so, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. So have a look. His channel. You know what? I don't think we have his channel. So let me just copy that in the. Well, it's not his channel, but let me copy that in the chat. Here you go. Perfect. And that's it for hashtag Media Guys. You guys are pretty familiar with him, and he's very fun to read what he says.
He also supports a lot of the people in the community as well. So that's awesome by retweeting and videos and things like that. So it is it's great to see. So it's good to be able to show him a little bit of love as well.
Exactly. So today we got some amazing news. We've learned that FIFA 2023 is confirmed to come on Stadia on September 30th.
So Ninja, just want to preference this here. So this is an early leak here. It's not from EA, but this is just one of many sites here that are reporting that FIFA's coming out here and that the platform is on Stadia, just so that people don't get confused a little bit or misquote.
So it might be. What are you laughing at, Adam?
I was just reading one of the comments in your chat. Let the record show that Stadium Connect North is not short form content. We're at the 2 hour 5
Yeah.
minute mark. So yes, I think you're right about that.
Definitely
Yeah,
when you. When me and John are together, it's never a short one.
Well, that's
So
awesome.
so yeah, maybe he got that in like a PR email or something like that. But it's very promising. I know that I feel like FIFA is one of the big title that brings like Stadia players to play Stadia because people like it's one of the great like the biggest sport out there in the
Yeah.
world, and it does a lot of sales. So hopefully this is true. Hopefully we'll be keeping the series up on Stadia.
Yeah, and I know, like, so Ninja, I was when I saw this in there and saw other people reporting on this as well, I kind of went and did a little bit of research here. So FIFA is the number, like you mentioned, the number one sport in the world. It is also the number one selling sports title in the world as well. As of last year, it has sold, since its inception here, over 325 million copies.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
And so this is going to transition us into this other bit of news that we heard about Madden and whatnot, and we'll give our thoughts on that. But my honest opinion here is that, and you can even see in this tweet here, as we see each year, a legacy edition is also released on Nintendo Switch. And it is basically, I think if I remember correctly, it's like the PS3 version of the game. It's like it's not even PS4 type quality, but they do that because FIFA's a guaranteed seller. Like, even if you've got this legacy edition on the Switch, people with the Switch there, you're gonna buy it. So it's a title, like we said, that it's the best selling sports title around the world. So I think, along with what we saw in FIFA 22, they added cross-play and they included Stadia with that in their testing. I think it's pretty safe to say that we'll see FIFA 23 on Stadia, because I wouldn't understand as to why EA would include Stadia in the crossplay if it wasn't part for 23. I mean, they could have easily just made it PlayStation and Xbox, right? And just that's it. So I think there's a good chance here, and this is a little bit of encouraging news. And hopefully, we see here in the next couple of weeks an official announcement from EA.
Yes, exactly. So I don't have them open in the task, but I have two more things that I want to talk about. And I'm sorry, Adam, I know it's late, but these are really good news that I want to talk about. So the first thing, and John, we totally forgot about that. So the Chromecast with Google TV is going up for sale on new countries, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
So I just want to mention that this is exciting. Hopefully, it means that it will potentially expand, Stadia onto these countries also. But yeah, I think the Chromecast with Google TV is now going to be available like in Brazil, India. It's the only two I can remember because they're two of the biggest. Is China in there?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. 9 to 5, Google had the article. So for those in the chat there, if you can just head on over there if you want to check it out. But yeah, they are releasing the Chromecast with Google TV in other countries here. And of course, I don't know, Ninja, if this was while you're going there, a little bit of filler here. The Chromecast Ultra, it's been out of stock here in Canada for over a year and a half. Well, Google officially pulled the plug on it by removing it from the store as well. So it's no longer listed there. Whenever you used to click on it, it would be out of stock anyways. But yeah, it's no longer listed in the store here. So yes, so here we go.
Yeah, so it doesn't mean anything, right? It doesn't mean that that Stadia is expanding or anything. But to me, like, it's just promising. I mean, if the results are good on the sales, why not, right? Like maybe they'll go ahead and hit that switch. I know it's not that easy, but Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, exactly. So Ninja, can you read just where it's going to launch there for those that might not be able to
Sure.
see it or are listening?
Yeah, it's pretty. The characters are pretty small, right? In Europe,
Yeah.
Chromecast with Google TV is being released on June 21st, with the 8 new regions already listing the streamer in the Google Store. So yeah, June 21st.
First, yeah, awesome. So what does it say? It says India, New Zealand, South Korea. I think those.
Taiwan. It says the Netherlands, but like the Netherlands already have Stadia.
Yeah. Well, but you
Belgium.
know what? There were some places where you couldn't buy the hardware in the Google store.
Oh, I see.
Like it was available there, so they would have to buy it from partnering countries or sister another country that was close by. So
Okay.
that's cool to see. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. And the last news that we have, get this here. So we got a new APK teardown, thanks to thanks to Dead Alive for pointing it out. Dead Alive, as usual, he's just a very good at finding news quickly,
Mhm.
around. Such I hope that we can get him on the show one day, because he's
Yes.
so good at finding some little pieces out there, of Stadia.
Yeah, he's always has like little bits of tidbits of info that he shares on Discord with
Yeah.
news, jobs, and stuff like this. So this is again here a new update or a new version of the Stadia app. So there's APK out. So be interesting to see what's in this teardown. I'm sure we'll see it the teardown here within the next probably couple of hours before the night's out, or if not by tomorrow as well. So
Yep.
a shout out to Death Alive for that tweet and letting us know.
Yeah, looking forward to that for sure. All right. So today we are bringing the community chat. So we're opening that up. And I think it's pretty popular. A lot of people have heard about it. And so what we've heard today is that it's been confirmed that Madden 23, sorry, Adam, Madden, is not coming on Stadia this year. So I'll let John start with that, because he did get some confirmation with the PR, right? That it's not happening. And yeah.
So what happened was we saw a couple of days ago, EA talked about on this Madden 23 that John Madden's going to be back on the cover here and
Nice.
and whatnot, and they didn't mention any platforms. Well, they put out a press release saying that Madden NFL 23 is coming August the 19th. It'll be on PS4, Xbox One, Series X, PS5, PC, but it didn't mention anything about Stadia at all. So, which is the last 2 years, we've gotten Madden 21 and 22. So no mention here. When I got that email with the press there, I quickly sent an email over to Electronic Arts to ask them, because the way that it's worded here is they're saying that these are the platforms that the game's going to be available launching on August the 19th. So I asked them, if there's a Stadia version planned. And my response that I got from PR was, "Hi, John. Madden NFL 23 is available on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X, PC via EA app for Windows, Origin, Steam, and Epic Games Store. Currently, the game will not be offered on Stadia." So, unfortunately, it's never good news when a developer who publishes games, a yearly franchise, doesn't bring their game to the platform. But as sad as it is, it makes sense if we're looking at it in a financial perspective, because we know that EA and Google had a deal for 5 games, and I'm sure money was exchanged there, in order to bring these games over. And now we know that Google's no longer offering that upfront money. What they've done is, to make things easier for development, Stadia Pro incentivize things and just make it more attractive. Well, if we're looking about, and this is kind of touches base with what we were talking about with FIFA. FIFA is the most popular sport in the world and the most popular selling video game sport. Madden is the most popular sport in the US and the best selling sports game in the US. So it's evident that Madden didn't have the numbers on Stadia to sustain it. Just like how us here in Canada and other people in the world would love to see NHL on Stadia. It's not as high selling game, a sports game. So they're really at this point in time, there's not that big of a chance of it coming. What I think they're going to do is they're going to go the same route that they do with Switch, and they're going to put FIFA, a guaranteed seller, on Stadia. We know, like I said, FIFA has sold over 325 million around the world since the series started. Madden, on the other hand, has sold over 130. So you can see roughly FIFA is about, sells twice as much on average, a little bit more here and there. So, while it's sad that that from what we can tell now, that there's not going to be Madden on Stadia, I don't believe it's not a fatal death blow. Yes, it isn't good, but that doesn't mean that in the future the series couldn't return to Stadia. It also doesn't mean that we won't see it launch at a later date on Stadia. I mean, there's not that high of a probability that Madden 23 will launch later, but it's still probable. I really think that if FIFA 23 doesn't come, then that's not a very good sign for the relationship between Stadia and EA. Because again, like I said, that FIFA 23 is that money seller. It's a guaranteed to sell. So if we don't see FIFA 23, then I think the relationship with EA is on rocky ground there, and then that would be something to be concerned about.
Yeah, definitely. And talking about that, it seems to be a trend happening lately, and it's not just EA where, big AAA games that we got on Stadia, it seems like the sequel, we're not getting sequels or, continuation of that publisher's games. And Adam, what do you think about that? Do you think it's concerning for Stadia? Sorry, I put you on the spot there. Yeah.
Concerning for Stadia, for the executives that work in Stadia, yes, it's absolutely concerning because they know that without the games they can't get the players, and without the players they can't get the games. But at the same time, I think that it's probably coming down to overinflated expectations of what the returns will be on the side of the developers and the publishers. They are probably expecting lots of sales, but I would say that a lot of Stadians don't buy games. I don't buy that many games. I used to, but I don't buy that many games anymore because so many games come to Pro.
Yeah.
And I think as a result, there is probably a lower tendency to buy games on Stadia than on other platforms. And yeah, I think because of that, that's why we are seeing some developers pulling out. Like, let's say Borderlands. Borderlands would do great. The next Borderlands game.
Tiny Tina's Wonderland?
Well, yeah, it's not really the next Borderlands game. It's its own game, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, Tiny Tina would do well on Stadia. But because Borderlands didn't meet the expectations, they assume that it's just not worth their time. That might not be the case, but the assumption's already there.
Yeah. I think Stadia Adventure makes a good point here too. He says Stadia has more followers and more players now than it did this time last year, despite all of the bubble drama. So Adam, like you make really good points there. I think like maybe the expectations were a little high. We know again that cloud gaming is what 1 to 3% of the market overall of the gaming market. So again, it's still in its infancy here. I think this was like is a big not wake up call, but a big realization for a lot of people. Like you've got to lower those expectations there. Yes, it would be awesome to have all those AAA games right away, day and date. But if you're the type of person that likes to get all those big titles day and date and wants to play them, then Stadia really isn't the platform for you.
At the moment.
Yeah. At the moment, it's not really there for all those big titles that that are flashing around on all those AAA. It's still very early on, even though we're going into the third year and whatnot. But it's just Sonny put out a great video as well here recently. It's gonna take time. We know probably another 5 or 6 years before we start to see more of that stuff come day and date, and the general acceptance overall for cloud gaming just increases. I do think though that Stadia is on the right track by making their platform as easy as possible to develop, and also that giving those incentives out with Stadia Pro. I mean, what do you think? Like, imagine we saw Madden come out a month or two later, but it launches into Stadia Pro. It's that multiplayer game, but it's in Pro there. I mean, that would be awesome, right? That's almost like a surefire guaranteed way for them to make as most money as possible on Stadia.
It would be really cool if the porting process would be so easy that they could hire Google people to do the ports and saying like, hey, EA, we can port your Madden game for only I don't know, $100,000
right
in a month, easily, and then they show them like how they do it and stuff like. So the easy porting process, I think, will definitely help into bringing some more people. It's all about cost versus profit, right?
Yeah. And I think this brings to light here, really, I think the next big step that can happen for Stadia is going to be country expansion. And I think it's really needs to happen. Like, in order to see Stadia grow, we need that country expansion. So fingers crossed. And, if we're sitting here talking about it, the executives at Google, they're not there twiddling their thumbs and wondering, what should we do next? Right? This is definitely, I can guarantee you this is been on the docket. They've been talked about it. I am almost positive with every being in my soul. Like, I can't see why they wouldn't have some type of plan getting things into place. I'm sure COVID slowed the process down, but I'm confident I'm going to say I would like to see it by the end of this year, but I would say by this time next year, I think we're going to see that expansion into other countries. I would like to see sooner, but just to be a little generous on the timetable, I'll say within the next year. But really, I'm hoping for in the next 6 months, because that's where it's going to take off. We're going to see that India and South Korea and those countries like that. A couple weeks ago, we saw the tweet with the individual there. With Stadia sent her controller and swag and everything.
Oh yeah,
and she's right, and she's off promoting Stadia APAC. So something's going on behind the scenes. We all would like it quicker, but it's just the trials and tribulations of gaming in general, and cloud gaming more so. It's going to be a roller coaster ride, like it has always been, and I'm sure in the future it's going to be bumpy here and there and those ups and downs, but it's something that I'm passionate about. I enjoy, and really, like, again, like you're saying here, if you're the type of person that wants all the Call of Duties, the Gods of War, Gears of War, Halo, and stuff like that, all those AAA titles, and even like the Borderlands and things like that, right now, Stadia is not going to fulfill your needs. And you can either play on the other platforms or add them as a complimentary. The thing is with Stadia is you just, you don't have to have anything extra. You can just play there. So, like I said, I think from what we know right now, Madden not coming to Stadia, yeah, it's not good news, but it's not a death blow by any means. It's just the trials and tribulations there. So I think, in a couple of weeks, we'll be on to something else. And there'll be something else to talk about. And who knows, maybe we'll hear an announcement about FIFA by then or Madden as well. But
yeah,
those are my thoughts.
I can see it has a really good thing he wrote there that I really like. He says, it drives me nuts when people say that they moved on, but retweet negative articles, etc. So it's true, right? Like, you haven't moved on if that's the case. But I just wanted to show that because it was a really good thought. Yeah.
And I think they do that. It's kind of like a little dig. They're trying to get a reaction. So me personally, I don't give that. I try not to give that attention that they're seeking. Sure, behind the scenes, I've got my 2 cents, but publicly, I'm not going to mention it and give them that attention here. We also see, like, look here, 13 pro games in 5 weeks, nine publishers, partners in 9 weeks. So, I mean, they're always good and bad about everything. It's just the way you want to look at it. And I've always said, if play on whatever platform you want. I don't. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't mean we're not going to be friends. The problem I have is when they throw those little digs or try to hype up or go into Reddit and say, oh, hey, stirring the pot. Shit disturbers. Yeah. I'll say it there. You know what? If you're a shit disturber, just stop it. Just enjoy what you like and go on with it there. So, yeah, my 2 cents here. And that's what I have to say.
Perfect. Yeah. Before we conclude, I like to see what Adam has to think about that. So, so do you think that it's imminent that, first of all, that we'll get an expansion maybe this year or the next year?
No, I don't think it's this year. I don't think it's this year. I don't actually think it's next year either.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't think India has the. We were looking at the Chromecast being sold in India. I don't think India has proper Google infrastructure there for them to be able to host Stadia sessions.
Interesting.
I think that is coming. I know that Google said they were investing something like $5 billion into India. Something like that. Don't quote me on the figures, but I know that they are investing in the infrastructure of India. I would also say that South America is coming, but it's a few years away. They're building that undersea cable to take high-speed internet to South America, but that's a very long cable, and it takes a long time to build these sorts of things. So I don't think that's coming anytime soon. Maybe we'll get some more European countries. Maybe we might even see like Australia or New Zealand, but I just don't see it happening yet. I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. I do think it's important. Expansion is important, but I just don't see it happening quite yet.
Yeah, we gotta keep our expectation still low because we're still in the COVID. Still, like stuff is happening 4 times slower, than usual. So you might be right. Maybe it's still a few years from now, because so much is happening. And what about the Madden situation?
I'm not actually looking too much into this because we supposedly weren't going to be getting FIFA, but we ended up getting it, and it just came really late.
Yeah.
So if you want it, I guess if it's a game that you enjoy, if I enjoyed playing a yearly franchise, which I don't think there's any annual franchises that I actually enjoy, but if I did, yeah, I'm sure I'd be upset if I wasn't getting it at the same time as everyone else. But I'm not actually interested in Madden, so my opinion
Yeah.
is I don't really care.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for the people who honestly enjoy, for the people who enjoy the game, I know it's a real blow, and if I was told Euro Truck Sim was coming, and then I was told the next one wasn't, even though it's not an annual franchise, but if I was told the next iteration of the game wasn't coming, yeah, I'd be really upset, but not that upset because I play on other platforms,
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
it's not coming to Stadia. Oh well, I'll just get it on my laptop. It isn't the end of the world.
Yeah.
Right.
And when I hear that it's not coming, in my head, it's always like it's not coming yet because it happened so many times in so many situations. Think of MotoGP 21, I think, came out late, and a few more came out late. It's just a matter of, like, is it a good time to release it or not?
Or their priorities, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like just like with Sky Climbers, they're saying, we're a certain team here. What are we going to prioritize first? You're going to prioritize your biggest market, PC, and then it's going to be PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, right? So, like you're saying, Ninja, just people have to keep your expectations in check, and we all want more games and all those AAA games
Obviously,
coming.
yeah.
Yeah, right. But I think both make great points. I totally agree.
Exactly. All right, so unless you guys have other subject to talk about, I think that it's a good time to wrap it up.
Yep. Do we want to see the results of the poll here?
Definitely, I had it ready here after that.
All right.
So let me open that up. So let me end the poll here and give you the results. So we have 45 vote in, and here I am ending the poll, and looks like I don't know if it takes a while to load. Okay, there you go. So we got 46% of people started Dead Run TV first, and I am surprised.
Wow.
I am surprised. I thought that Deliver Us to the Moon would be the most interested one that people would want it to, click and give it a try first. But Deliver Us to the Moon is the second place at 35%. And then we got Lake. I've seen some people in the chat who were interested in Lake for their first try, so that was interesting. And then Through the Darkest of Time with only a 2%. So that's an interesting one. It doesn't mean that they didn't try it, right? It's just not the first title that they tried in their list.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Exactly. Like for me, it was Deliver Us to the Moon and Death Run TV. Well, I'm going to be playing Deliver Us to the Moon again tonight, and then I'll move on. Once I finish that, then I'm going to move on to these other games. Lake has really surprised me of how much I enjoyed that. I mean, it sounds super silly that you're a mail carrier going around town, but the characters you meet and the interactions you have and some of the funny things that they say is just like, oh my gosh. And I saw like out in front of like the post office in the town there was this one car, and I guess it was getting ready to turn over to the left, and a police car was coming, and somehow both those cars stopped. Well, it caused a huge backup in the downtown area there, and it was just like, it's super silly. It's really a great game just to relax and chill on. So that's probably going to be next week sometime when I dig into that and see if I can complete Lake and see what it's like.
Can't wait to give it a try. It looks so fun.
Awesome.
All right, guys. So thank you very much for watching today. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. I think that next week there might be some changes on the show's time. John will keep you guys up to date with that. I'm not sure if I'll participate, but we'll see. But I just want to let you guys know that, yeah, John is starting a new job, which is very good. Congratulations, John.
Thank
And so keep your eyes up on the Twitter, and we'll announce the show's time if it's the same or not.
Yeah, exactly. And a big shout out. Thank you, Original Penguin Adam.
Yes.
Pleasure to have you on as always. I always
been a
love to
pleasure to
hear
be
your input and insight. And you know what? Even if the game is not your cup of tea, it's still fine. You still always have some very interesting things to say and share your thoughts, and I love that. And as always, Ninja Guy, it is great having you on here. We talk all day on Discord anyways as well. So
Yeah.
I am so excited when Ninja lets me know, says, "Hey John, I think I might want to come on the show this week." I said, "Woohoo. It's awesome." So really have fun doing the show each week with you.
It's very nice being
and everyone
appreciated
else.
like that. You know, like I really do appreciate when you guys are so happy to see me and stuff.
Yeah,
It's really
it's
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And everyone in the chat there. So it was a great. I hope everybody has a fantastic and safe weekend. Take care. And for those City Skylines fans out there, we mentioned it a little bit earlier. Check out Original Penguin Adam. He has a fantastic video starter tutorial there that'll get you started in the game. Check it out for sure. We'll get a link in the description so you can check that out. It is awesome. And again, everybody, take care. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you all again real soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.